nation! No donation, no salvation!
And remember, respect is everything.
And we're back. We're going to look at something a little different. Now, don't worry, for the people who subscribe for all the Lego stuff, I'm still working on stuff. This is just Cliff Jumper. I always have him around because I love Cliff Jumper. But I'm gathering parts at the moment for other figures. So these are all the ball joints and a few other pieces that I'm going to need as well. I was going to do a combiner, but again, I still need to get more parts. Not just the ball joints, but other like heavy duty like ratchets and stuff. Because, you know, just all the trials and errors of building, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to build next, but I also don't like to spoil these things because I kind of like to keep it a surprise. Anyway, so I've been inspired by another YouTuber I watch called John Garinger, who does How Are They Holding Up? Now, if I'm correct, at the time of this recording, of course, this could change in the future. These are the only third-party offerings for a G1 Windcharger and Tailgate. I think. I could be wrong. I may need to look into this later in editing. But, yes, I think as of right now, these are the only masterpiece options for Tailgate and Windcharger at the moment. Because I don't think anyone else has done it. Because given the nature of the kinds of car they are, I mean, well, I don't think it's a licensing issue. I think it's just a matter of Hasbro just not getting around to it because they have more priorities and things that we've already seen before rather than new things. But again, I won't complain. So yes, Generation 1 Windcharger is modeled after a 1982 Pontiac Firebird, which had pop-up headlights. Some versions of the car had a ram air hood that was off to the side, like this one. The car was very popular in its appearance in the show Knight Rider, if you're familiar with that, since that car has pretty much appeared in so much pop culture media. So, you know, again, it's a very cool car. I like it. I like it when they have the rear louvers, because if you've ever seen them in real life, they look so much cooler with those rear louver vents. Not to mention, those giant back windows, if you break one part of it, you got to replace the whole thing. It's a whole solid piece of glass, so these are also good for protecting the window. Granted, it's just plastic. I don't think it would do much, but it's better than nothing, I guess, because, I mean, I can't imagine having to replace that entire glass section. I mean, if you restore cars or do anything like that, I mean, my heart goes out to you because, you know, what's going on with the lighting? So here's Tailgate. Not much different, except the ram air hood is a little different. It's now symmetrical instead of the one-sided offset one like Windcharger has. We're mostly going to be focusing on Windcharger here, but we will look at Tailgate as well, but I'll probably transform him off camera because there's really not much different about him other than these front ends here. And if you'll notice, one of his headlights is down because the other one is incredibly loose because, yes, this actually has functional pop-up headlights. And just like the real cars, sometimes one would break and get stuck in place. So that's actually a bonus for me because it kind of looks hilarious. But, yeah, it's a cool little car. So, yeah, the pop-up headlights do work, which, you know what's funny? Just a little side tangent here. This is the only, like, toy or model of an actual proper 80s Firebird that isn't the Knight Rider car in this scale. Because, for those who don't know, I like to collect model cars and stuff in many different scales. And the only thing in this scale, or at least close to this, is the Knight Rider Jada car. But I don't like the proportions on that car, and they don't look quite right, and I don't like it. But these are pretty spot on to how I remember the original car. Granted, I didn't grow up in the 80s, but, I mean, I'm a big car guy, and I'm into these, like, 80s, you know, beater boxes, because, I mean, let's be real here, these cars are so old now. I mean, most of the time you're just going to find them in junkyards or for sale, you know, after they've already been rebuilt for crazy amounts of money. Not super crazy amounts, but, I mean, you have to be willing to put up with these kind of vehicles to really appreciate them. Before we do go any further, I want to do some comparisons to the vehicles. So here's the Reveal the Shield Windcharger, which, funny story about this one. I bought this by accident because this is the United version. I bought this by accident because I didn't realize that the subline that this appeared in was not Hunt for the Decepticons. It was Reveal the Shield. So I ended up just buying the United version instead because I guess somebody else thought the same thing I did. and made that same mistake. Otherwise, had I known this was from the Reveal the Shield line, I could have gotten him for like $10 at the time. So, yeah, I'm a little upset about that, but, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. That was from a 2-pack. I had the black version, which was really cool, but he broke and got lost with time, and I'm really sad about that, because the black version of that mold was really cool, because even though this isn't really Windcharger to me, like, that Decepticon version was much nicer, and I'm going to see if I can get a second one, so I can replace the black version. Here is the Tailgate mold from, I think, Combiner Wars or Thrilling 30? I don't know, somewhere. I know they repainted it in Combiner Wars for Windcharger, which is funny because Tailgate's always been a repaint of Windcharger, and now it was vice versa. At the time, of course. I like Tailgate better because he has the flames on the hood that kind of remind me of the old Firebird logos, like on the old Trans Ams and stuff from the 70s. So, there's that. Put him with his respective counterpart. I have both the Power of the Primes versions. I keep Tailgate in car mode because I think the white looks nicer, even though, if we're being honest here, I like this one in car mode better because it's more accurate to the real car, while this one's got that weird custom ram air hood. So, there's that. Again, sorry if I'm rambling on, I just want to do these comparisons. And one last comparison, the G1 keychain reissue. So anyway, there's all my little Windchargers and Tailgates that I happen to have. I did do a custom Transformers Prime Tailgate, which I did a video on, so if you want to see that, I mean, it should be in my Toys and Customs playlist, which is literally just a repaint of a Terracon Cliff Jumper, because I would not waste a perfectly good regular first edition for this, because, seriously, these things are just stockpiling on eBay. Nobody wants the Terracon versions, but that's good for me, because I like to do customs. And then here's my other Cliff Jumper, which is technically a custom as well, because that's not his original head. It's the regular first edition head, but because this was a GDO Cliff Jumper, I just swapped him out because, at the time I didn't have the amount of Cliff Jumpers and excess that I do now. So this was my only choice, and yes, I did put decals on them, and yes, I love those bold decals. I also love these TA stripes. They're really nice. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm a car nut, and I like these kind of things. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's get all this crap out of here, because I'm sure people are probably sick of me rambling and twiddling my fingers around with plastic thingies. I really love this figure. I need to see if I can find the black one again, or some other repaint of it, because that is a nice mold. Before we proceed any further, here's a toy car of the actual Pontiac Firebird from that era with the correct hubcap rims. These are actually it's a Hot Wheels car, but the wheels are from a Johnny Lightning. So, again, just thought I'd throw that in. This is the normal front end, too. It's not the Knight Rider car, which, here's car, if you want to see the Knight Rider front end. It's literally just an extended nose cone. So in real life, it would add like an extra 4 inches to the car. But I'm using car because he has the two-tones. It's a little easier to see these differences, since Kit is a pretty much entirely black car. I think on the 93 Firebird, though, they had a longer front end to look more like the Knight Rider car. And because I keep talking about Knight Rider, here's Kit. Here's an old car, a toy car I restored recently that I repainted and sanded off and made like new again. Okay. Given the nature of these figures, they're pretty annoying to transform. So this may take a while, but I also have some tools on hand in the event that I need to deal with them. So for the sake of simplicity, I have a Lego parts separator that we might need, and a few other things. So let's get going to the transformation. Okay, we're going to mostly focus on Windcharger because I want to keep Tailgate in car mode. I will point out some of the differences, and yes, that is a custom Autobot sticker. These are not official. These are third party, I think. I think it's Xtransbots. That's Boost, that's Hatch, at least according to their names that they were given on the thing. I'm going to be honest, I don't like transforming these because they're very frustrating, which is why I keep both of them in vehicle mode, which is sadly the real reason I bought both of these, because I only wanted them for the car mode, which I know sounds like a dumb reason to buy these because they're very expensive, but I mean, if you've seen how expensive certain model cars get, I think the price was justified, and they transform. So, go ahead and fold these down. Again, sorry if I'm not getting all this on screen. Oh god, that is not good. Here, let's use this little accessory to... There we go. Okay. Yeah, he also comes with a few accessories as well. He came with an alternate chest plate and a few other things, but I'll show those off in a minute. So yes, fold those down. I guess we could fold the wheels down now if we wanted to. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that now, because it might be an issue later. I didn't even know this could fold down during the stage of the transformation. That's one way to make it a little easier, I guess. Okay. Next, we are going to... let's unclip this panel, because I know that panel is going to be an issue later. I'm trying to be very careful, because these figures are very expensive, and I don't want to break them, because that would not be good. Actually, I don't think it's going to be able to fit in there. I don't want to damage it, because I did scratch it somewhere. I don't remember where, trying to get the arms loose with a screwdriver. And I regret it very heavily. I guess I'll start with the arms. I think the biggest problem with these figures is mostly the transformation. Because in retrospect, the robot mode and the car modes are great. The problem with the figures is the transformations, because they're kind of horrendous. What I like to do is I like to push on the wheels, kind of get the arms out a little bit. But yeah, the main reason I'm doing this is because I've been wanting to look at these, but I never had a real reason to. But then I decided, like, well, do I really need a reason? So, not to mention, I love talking about the 80s Firebirds, so, you know, it's one of my favorite sports cars of all time. But mostly the base models. I don't like the GTAs or the Trans Am packages with those large, like, front bumpers and, like, body kits on the side, because they make the car look a little too bulky, and I like the kind of slim look of the base model. Again, that's just a me thing, because I have a really weird, like, sentimental attachment to the authenticity of these things. Alright, I'm sorry if I'm struggling here. It's just, I haven't done this in so long, and I don't want to break anything. Here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Unclip that. And then we want to get the backpack separated from the arms. So, go ahead and get those out. Okay, we're going to need a little assistance here. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm struggling. These every review I've seen of these, everyone struggles with these things, so I'm not the only one, sadly. God. And that's the big issue with this figure, is clearance. It's the clearance that's the issue. There's the issue. I didn't also untab from the mirrors, so... Or not the mirrors, but like the side windows, because this actually has... Okay. Again, if I'm struggling, I'll probably... Oh my. Okay, we got him out. Again, I don't like how this fender is in the way, because I'm very paranoid of breaking that. We'll come back to that piece later. Okay. Next, just do the same with the other side. Again, tailgate's more or less the same. There are a few differences, but they're very minor, and I'll point them out when we get there. I probably won't transform him, though, because I want to leave him in car mode, because, you know, I don't like transforming these things. Which is a shame, because, that's the whole point of Transformers. I love transforming them and handling them, but there's just some figures I just don't want to deal with sometimes. And this is definitely one of them, which is why they only stay in car mode. Okay, I'm going to need... Whoa. There's no way. There is no freaking way. That just broke. I may have to cut this video short now. Wow, that's infuriating. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever. We're just gonna proceed forward. That's tragic. That's actually really depressing. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen that break, but I'm honestly not surprised, because this thing is just toleranced poorly in every regard. Life sucks sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and then this, fold this out. That's the other problem with this lower section. There's no real way to grab onto things. I'm really pissed off about that now. I can't stop thinking about it, because I just broke the damn thing. This is why I don't like collecting third-party stuff, because there's no... What is going on? God, look, another freaking screw fell out. Jesus Christ. This is why I don't like collecting third-party stuff, because it's not easy to replace, because this stuff has to be shipped in overseas and stuff. Wow, that was just bullshit. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this off screen, because this was clearly a bad idea.
Wasted!
There's the finished robot again. I would be a little happier to talk about this if it wasn't for the fact that that pile of crap there just f***ing broke. I normally don't curse on this channel, or at least I try to keep it light, but that's just infuriating. This is why clear plastic should not. This is why these windows shouldn't have been clear to begin with, especially that T-top section. Like I get it, it's for some kind of realism, but I mean, who cares? All you see is robot parts under the car anyway. Like that's why I hate clear windows on vehicles and Transformers, because it's a waste. It's a wasted effort. I can probably just glue that back on, but I mean, clear plastic is not very. It doesn't handle glue very well, and that's what worries me. So I'm gonna have to probably invest in some super special glue, so that it doesn't melt the clear plastic. I need to figure out where this other screw fell out, because I have another screw here that just randomly fell out. Well, the articulation is decent. Again, you pretty much have all the basic stuff you'll ever really need. You got wrist, elbows, all that. Pretty decent ball joint in the arms. Hips go forward, out to the... Oh, wait, crap, forgot to flip the little hip skirts. If you do want to get one of these because you have a weird obsession with the car mode like I do, don't clip everything in all the way, at least in robot mode, because it's not worth breaking this thing. Hips have a decent spread. Forward, back. They don't go back too far, but it could also just because of the thing. But knees have a decent range. I think they are double jointed, so that's nice. He also has a waist rotation, as you can see, and it does work all the way around. So, again, sorry if I'm not getting all this on screen. I don't normally do this kind of stuff, and I'm definitely probably not going to do this again with any third-party figures, because I'm probably not going to buy any more after this, because that was just infuriating. And it's a shame, because I've seen a lot of cool third-party stuff, but it's just, I don't want to take the risk of having to wait for it to come overseas, or whatever, like, place they're shipping it from, then have something break, and then have to ship it back. I don't like dealing with that kind of stuff. I'd rather just buy a really crappy Chug figure and just, replace it later when it's still new. Like I get Chug is not the same as it used to be and the quality is not as good anymore, but again, if it means being able to replace it easier when it's new, then I'll take that over dealing with this, because I bought this on eBay, so there's definitely no way I'm getting, any kind of compensation for this at all. So hopefully this will help you determine your decision if you want to get this or not. If you do, I recommend, just being more careful than I was, especially if you're going to review it, because that kind of sucks. That's just kind of depressing me now, but let's go ahead and give him his gun and be done with this, because I don't want to touch this figure anymore. I'm definitely not transforming Tailgate, because, and I don't want to break Tailgate either, because if I remember correctly, Tailgate, both these tabs were busted. Actually, I think the T-tops are painted on. I don't know if the whole thing's clear plastic. I can't tell, but I'm sorry if the review's kind of taking a depressing turn. I'm just really upset about that. That is just, that really pisses me off. I hope a model car company sees this and decides to make a base model Firebird, and hopefully with some rear louvers, because this is the only reason I bought this was for the car mode, because I really love the car modes. And granted, I probably overpaid for the set, because I got both of them for $100. Because I bought it from the same seller. The figures themselves are nice. It's the transformation that's the problem. It's getting to and from each mode is the problem. Getting to the actual modes is where the issues are. The actual modes themselves are great. Problem is, getting between them is not fun at all. I mean, I literally just broke them on screen, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that now. And I need to figure out where this other screw came from, because I don't even know where the hell that came from. Yeah, I'm definitely not touching third-party stuff again. This is already... I'm sure there's better third-party companies out there that make better quality stuff than this, because, again, this is Xtransbots, but I mean, it was going to happen someday because, I mean, at the end of the day, these things are kind of old now. And so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because I know Xtransbots has a track record of producing crap figures that break a lot, or at least in some areas. I mean, if you've ever seen the drag strip they did, it was worse because his entire shoulder would break because it was plastic when it should have been metal in that spot. You know, if you want more on the drag strip, watch John Geringer's videos because that's kind of what inspired me to do this since, you know, I haven't seen anyone else really look at these, you know, years after they came out. So, again, that was the main reason I wanted to do this because I haven't seen any recent reviews of these. So I figured I would do a little sort of something like how they're holding up, kind of like what he does. But this doesn't leave a good feeling with me now. I'm sure there are better, superior third-party figures, but again, even if there are better figures, if they break, I mean, there's no replacing that easily because especially older figures that aren't made anymore, like this one. I mean, I don't know if they still make them. I doubt it. You all have a good one. I'm sorry this wasn't the best review. I wanted to do more in-depth look at the transformation, but unfortunately things just did not pan out the way they did. So I'm definitely, I mean, I'm going to keep them, obviously. I'm trying to look at the positives right now, but I don't know. Maybe I'll customize them and make them into kit or something. I don't know. Or not kit, but just a normal black Firebird because I have enough Knight Rider cars in my life. I'm sorry if I'm rambling so much. It's just me, I guess, but you all have a good one. Just a minor update. I was able to fix it. It's actually still drying right now, so I'm trying not to touch it too much, but yeah, oh man, my lights are freaking out, but yeah, for a point of reference, yeah, that's where it broke. I think this top section is actually a solid piece, like it's not clear or anything. So I was able to glue it back on, and it doesn't seem like it's causing any weird... Actually, no, it is clear. Huh. Well, I don't know what kind of clear plastic it is, but it doesn't seem like the glue's having any major effects on it, at least the glue that I use. So it seems to be holding up okay. Again, I'm going to give it like a day or so to dry. I have them mostly back in car mode because, again, I'm not going to get rid of these. I did buy these for the car mode, especially Windcharger, because, you know, I mean, again, I know it's a lot for just the car, but this is probably the most accurate representation I've seen of an 80s Firebird in this kind of like scale, and my lights keep flickering. So that's the main reason I got these, but it's definitely giving me a new outlook on these figures. So yeah, I was able to fix it. As for that screw that fell out in the video, I still have it, but I can't figure out where it went, like where it goes. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I'll try and look for it on the figure, but if I can't figure out where that goes, you know, I'm just gonna have to leave it as a lost cause. So again, it sucks that it broke. Again, I like the figures, don't get me wrong, but the transformations on these things, they suck. Again, I know there are probably some really good third-party figures out there, but they're figures I can probably live without because this is the kind of stuff that scares me about things like this. Again, I'm sure it's just mostly this mold. If they do make another third-party Windcharger, I'll probably pick that up if it's better than this one because, yeah, that was atrocious. So, again, sorry the review was kind of depressing and took a really stupid turn. My lights keep flickering for some reason. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry for like a day, and then I'm not gonna look at Tailgate. I don't want to risk it because these things scare the crap out of me during transformation. So, but I just wanted to see how the figures were holding up, you know, years after, you know, people have picked them up. So it's kind of stupid because, you know, the amount of money these things cost, because these aren't cheap either. You expect decent quality like parts and, you know, plastic and engineering, but this was just For those wondering what kind of glue I use, this is the glue, Amazing Goop. So if you like your Amazing Goop, there's your Amazing Goop. It's a really good glue, very solid. Really reminds me of E6000, I think it's called. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like E6000 or 3000. I don't know. It's the same type of glue, except this dries way faster, but I haven't seen it in any stores recently, so I don't even know if they still make it anymore. But anyway, I'm done rambling. You all have a good one.
Hallelujah! Another soul saved!